The history of modern Islam in the 20th and early 21st century reflects the realities of Muslim politics, a record of Muslim societies struggling to assert their independent status and to define themselves in the modern world. While religion remains an important force in the religious life and culture of many Muslims, its public and political role has been progressively circumscribed. Most modern states have pursued a more secular path, which, while sensitive to religious sensibilities, tended to limit the public role of religion. Despite institutional and intellectual changes and reforms in public life, the Islamic belief and practice of most Muslims remained relatively untouched by modern change. The significance and depth of traditions hold on Muslim society and its lack of efficient leadership may be seen in the paucity of systematic attempts at reinterpretation and reform within the faith. Many Muslim countries, though, have found it easier to continue along parallel paths of religion and secularity, as in law and education. Many religious leaders cooperated with governments that increasingly took over the administration of religious education, law, and endowments. Others were content to just preach a moralistic Islam devoid of any kind of social activism. New Islamic societies, such as the Muslim Brotherhood, attempted to fill this vacuum with organizations that reasserted the relevance of Islam in all areas of life, diagnosed the ills of Muslim society, and offered an Islamic activist approach aimed at redressing issues of religious identity and social justice. Since the late 1960s, Islamic revivalism has progressively come to dominate the religious and political discourse in much of the Muslim world. Both the political and religious establishments have found it necessary to respond through co-option, cooperation, repression, or rejection. Often the more conservative, non-activist ulama have been on the defensive. Some have cooperated in government efforts to control their citizenship and to contain information and education. Others have become more outspoken and militant in their teachings and in their actions, just as the violent actions of a minority of radicals should not obscure the moderate activities of the majority. This is what occurs in the Muslim faith as well. Many Islamic regimes, in the name of religion, have become dictator-type governments, controlling all aspects of their citizens' lives, persecuting non-Muslims and even Muslims who express differing views from theirs, and continue their influence and power through fear, repression, and force. We now see the horrible results of this abuse of power with the overturn of attempted overturn of many Islamic government states. What will become of the states is to be seen. Will it be better or worse for its citizens? Will they be able to truly experience democracy in any of its forms? For most Muslims, a return to Islam means greater awareness and observance of their faith, study of the Quran, prayer, fasting, dress, and even Sufism. Following the Sharia. For some of them, the greater affirmation of Islam in personal and community life implies recognition that Islam knows no clear separation of the sacred and the profane, the spiritual and the mundane. They believe that the restoration of Islam to its rightful place in Muslim life requires a bridging of that secular gap between religion and the state through the implementation of Sharia or Islamic law. Yet they do not want to be controlled by Islam government either. I look forward this week to receiving your final papers, and I want you to know how much I've enjoyed facilitating this course, particularly since it's the first time we've done this course or even this type of course online in our department. I've enjoyed the discussions and the interactions with you. I hope as I have learned from you and taken new information from you that you have done the same from me as well. And from your materials that you have developed new and different feelings about the materials presented in this course. Good luck in your future.